and we will take example of anemia in this class also. So indication and physical examination of cardiac disease. So on the first slide, you all are observing me examining a dog. It's a dog called Raleigh. It's my dog. And for teaching all of you, I have taken a picture to how to take how to do a stethoscopic examination in the different region in the dog, because I don't have access to the clinics now to teach you on there. When you will come to the practical, then I will be demonstrating you on the practical aspect also. Because in unit 2 practical also, you will be getting all these types of material. So it will be very helpful in diagnosing a canine, not only in canine, but this type of disease also occurs in horses and in cattle also. But it is well appreciated. Generally, the large number of cases comes in canines, and because of the small body size, we just compare it with the human being. So coming to the first, when we will go for the first introduction is how we will suspect it is a cardiac problem case. So for that, we have classified this unit 2 cardiac and vascular system into 5 to 6 different parts. So first will be a special examination. We have already learned the palpation, percussion, and auscultation method, but today we will learn about, especially about to detect a cardiac disease in small animals. We have taken the example of a small animals, suppose cats and dogs. Today we will do all these things in a dog, and then followed by a very, very important diagnostic tools for cardiac disease will be the ECG. In the next class, we will be getting knowledge of the ECG. Then after doing all these examinations, the special examination, physical examination, and the history taking and ECG, we will switch over to the real problem, that is the heart failure, followed by arrhythmia. Then we will discuss about the cardiac enlargement and other problems like pericarditis and endocarditis. So coming to, before starting the examination, a special examination for the cardiac system, just we want to recapitulate all the things what we have learned in the physiology as well as anatomy, because this structure, simple structure, will help in determining the different points on the body where we will do the physical examination, like the palpation, percussion, and auscultation. So I want to have a quick response from any one of you. Just first give your name and start explaining this diagram. Anyone? Hello?
Yes, sir.
Just Anand, you start. Just you
yes, sir. From
explain
structure
this.
Or from function, sir?
First, structure.
Yes,
the different structure what you are seeing on your screen. You just explain quickly. So I will explain later on.
Yes, sir. I will start with heart is made up of 3 layers. That is, outer one is epicardium, middle is myocardium, and inner is endocardium. It has 4 chambers. That is right atrium, right ventricle, and then left atrium and left ventricle. The right atrium and right ventricle, which is guarded by tricapsid valve, and the left atrium and left ventricle in between, which is guarded by bicuspid valve. Yes, sir.
Okay.
And in ventricles, there are many structures are present, like trabeculae, chordae, tendineae, and moderator band, which assist or support the heart to its structure. And in atrium, pectinate muscles are present.
Okay. What about other? Yes. Good. Come on.
Yes, sir. Right atrium and right atrium and left atrium is divided by a septa, which is called interatrium septum, and left ventricle and right ventricle is separated by a septa, which is called interventricular septum.
Okay. So what about other valve? You talked about 2 types of valve, and what about other valves?
Sir. Yes, sir. There are 2 more valves, which is pulmonary valve and aortic valve.
Yes. Pulmonary valves and aortic valves. Yes.
Yes, sir. The pulmonary valve is present between right ventricle and pulmonary artery, and aortic valve is present between left ventricle and aorta.
Okay. Okay. Here, all your it's visible to all of you. It's visible to all of you, I think so. So
Yes, sir.
This is Sivani. This is just a classification of different chambers of the heart and the different valves. Because what we will do with the help of auscultation, we will try to hear the sound from this region, and later on in stethoscopic examination, this site will be very, very helpful. So as Anant has told that there are 4 chambers in the heart, and the right side of the heart, right auricles and right ventricle is separated by a valve called tricuspid valve. So you take notes of this because when we do a stethoscopic examination on the right side of the animal, we will be visualizing, the right tricuspid valve. If there is any problem, the murmur and other sound, we will try to hear from this region. So my pen is on this tricuspid valve. Now 3 very important valves on the left side. Although you are visualizing this right ventricle to the pulmonary artery, the pulmonary valve. Although this is present from the right ventricle, but when you go on the left side of the animal, the 3 valve region will be audible to you, and the location is very, very important on the left side of the animal. So we will learn it's a pulmonary. For pulmonary, this will be P. For aortic, this will be A, and for mitral, this will be M. So you will learn PAM, pulmonary area, aortic area, and mitral valve area. So again, I am repeating, this 3 valve region is very, very important for determining the stenosis or determining the murmur sound on the left side of the body of the heart of the body. We will come across during the auscultation. So this, you just remember this 3 area, PAM. Just repeat, PAM. P stand for pulmonary valve, A stand for aortic valve, and M stand for mitral valve, that we will auscultate on the left side of the body. So other aorta and superior and inferior vena cava you are seeing. So that will not be very, very important, but we will see in the especially in the X-ray of the heart, we will visualize all this again. So coming to the next, what will be the history? Suppose if an animal is presented to you with some symptom, it will give some history, that is the anamnesis. So history for examination of cardiac disease is very, very important. We will come across each and every history, and we will try to differentiate it from other diseases of the organ. And next, after taking the history, if we suspect it to be a case of cardiac, then we have to differentiate it from respiratory tract infection. That is the most important, because sometimes if the animal is showing apnea or dyspnea, it is very, very difficult to differentiate whether the animal is suffering from cardiac disease or from respiratory tract infection. For that, we come across the history, and the most important is the age of the animal. Suppose I have written only 2 terms, young animal and old animal. So my question is from anyone, do the young animals suffer from cardiac problem? Anyone?
No, sir.
No?
No,
Yes,
sir.
100%?
No.
Anyone?
No, sir. 100% नहीं, may भी suffer कर
rare,
सकता है.
Obese young animal will suffer.
Oh, very good. Obese young animal is one answer. Someone says a very rare.
Sir, congenital defect हो सकता है. Sir, congenital defect के चलते भी हो सकता है.
Yes, very good. Whose answer is this? Congenital
Sir,
defect. Very good. Very good answer. Just I am waiting for this answer. The congenital defect. You might have heard the name PDA. What is PDA? PDA is a patent ductus arteriosus.
Ductus, yes, sir. It is.
Yes. So some of the
Blue baby
congenital,
syndrome.
blue baby syndrome, what we in human being. So similar condition may occur in young age animal. So they will not acquire cardiac disease. They have some congenital defect. So this congenital defect generally occurs in young age animal, and then the acquired disease. Whatever the disease they acquired during the lifespan is mostly found in the older animal. For example, cardiomegaly, dilatation of cardiac regions, or the different valvular problem. You know, the valvular defect are there. There may be mitral valve defect. There may be tricuspid valve defect. There may be aortic valve defect. And therefore, we were studying in the graph, what are the regions from where you will be able to determine the different murmur sound after auscultation of the animals. Now, after coming to the age, so the age, you will ask about the age of the animal. Suppose the animal is come to you and its age is around 7 to 8 years and showing that this animal is unable to walk. So this will be the first cardinal history sign the animal shows to the owner, and it will bring the dog to you that my dog is unable to walk or unable to move in the garden or unable to do even a simple exercise or unable to walk on the stairs. So these are some of the history the owner will give to you. So it will give some clue that it might be suffering from some cardiac problem. This is not 100% confirmation. For that, you have to depend on certain tests and other diagnostic ancillary tests. So coming to next is the breeds. So there are so many breeds of dog that are brought to you. But initially, we divide the breed into large size breed and small size breed. So you have seen so many large breeds of dog. So generally, in general, the large size breed dogs suffer from cardiomegaly, dilated cardiomyopathy, and the small size breeds generally suffer from valvular problem. So this is just an average. This is not 100% true that the small size breed will not suffer from cardiomegaly, but on the basis of certain finding, on the basis of certain data, we conclude that the large breed dog generally suffer from dilated cardiomyopathy or cardiomegaly, means increase in the size of the heart, while the small size breeds of dog generally suffer from valvular problem, any type of valvular problems. But there are other breeds of dog also that suffer from a special type of diseases. For example, certain breeds like poodles, Pomeranian, and the coolies, they are prone to suffer from patent ductus arteriosus. So this is one of the findings. There are aortic stenosis. There are certain breeds, for example, golden retriever and the boxer, they used to suffer from this type. So this is the predisposition of the breed with certain specific type of cardiac problems. Now, coming to we have already seen that the large breed are more prone to suffer from dilated cardiomyopathy, and small breeds of dogs are susceptible to mitral regurgitation. So all this question you will ask, or you will observe when an animal owner come to you and with a 60 to 70 kg weight of dog and showing certain signs. So you will ask the question, you will visualize which breed of dog is. So it will give some clue that it may have a certain disease. Then you go for the other diagnostic tests like ECG or X-ray or echocardiography. Now in cats also, they also suffer from cardiac problem. So there is a breed of cat called CMS cats, they are prone to cardiomyopathy. Now I have written just near weight of the animal. Do the weight of the animal also has a correlation with the cardiac disease as in human being?
Yes, sir.
Anyone?
Yes,
Someone told
yes,
just a few seconds ago that the weight of the animal is also responsible for producing cardiac disease. And I have written one. I have not given a clue that what is Pickwickian syndrome. This term is actually brought from human medicine, and this is a Pickwickian syndrome. You might have observed a very healthy and very heavyweight human being. They have a problem in taking inspiration. They have a problem in respiratory system. Have you seen? When you set a 120 kg human being, when you compare with the 50, 60 kg, they always have a problem in respiration. So sometimes, because once the weight of the animal increases, they become obese, it put lots of pressure on the cardiac region to maintain a perfusion. So it may lead to, so weight of the animal is also very, very important. If an animal is obese and highly obese, it shows a respiratory-like distress, is unable to gasp, unable to take in oxygen properly because of the size and of fat in the abdominal cavity. So this type of syndrome is called a Pickwickian syndrome. Certainly, the weight of the animal is very, very important in inducing a cardiac problem. So after this history, how this history will help to differentiate it from respiratory problem, because many of the signs, for example, even the cyanosis, apnea, dyspnea, open mouth breathing, these are the certain signs that are produced in both diseases. Either the animal are suffering from cardiac problem, cardiac failure, or any cardiomegaly, or any other disturbances like any physiological disturbances or any anatomical defect, or if they are suffering from respiratory infection, they show certain similar type of signs. But for that, you have to again depend upon a very important history called exercise intolerance. So exercise intolerance, actually I have given my voice is recorded in this, I'm not able to play. When you download, you try to hear the sound of exercise intolerance I have given here. So exercise intolerance, this is a very, very important diagnostic clue that the animal owner gives to you. This is the first sign. They will say my animal is not able to walk properly. Initially, she or he may used to walk for a long distance, used to do exercise with me, he used to climb the stairs, but now it gets syncope, or it gets fainted, or it becomes dull and depressed after walking for a certain distance only. So this is one of the cardinal signs to suspect it to be a dog suffering from cardiac disease. Now, the next point is also very, very important. Nature of coughing. Coughing is a cardinal sign of which disease? Anyone? Agar koi
Sir, kennel cough.
Kennel cough. Very good. Kennel cough.
Bordetella bronchoseptica.
Bordetella bronchoseptica means you people are talking about the infectious cause of coughing. Okay. But just like vomition, yes, vomition is the cardinal sign of which कौन से organ का disease हो सकता है? कोई animal vomit कर रहा है तो?
Gastric
में भी
renal problem.
Kidney का sir.
Renal problem sir.
अभी तुरंत रीनल पे नहीं जाएंगे, अभी हम रीनल पढ़ाने वाले हैं।
GIT ट्रैक में सर पूरा इन्फेक्शन हो सकता है।
ओके, हम सीधे मींस अगर कोई उल्टी कर रहा है या वॉमिट कर रहा है, इनिशियली वी सस्पेक्ट इट टू बी अ केस ऑफ गैस्ट्राइटिस, ठीक है। मींस जीआई ट्रैक्ट का कोई प्रॉब्लम है तो एनिमल वॉमिट कर रहा है। उसी तरह से अगर इफ द एनिमल इज कफिंग, वी सस्पेक्ट इट टू बी अ डिजीज ऑफ व्हिच ऑर्गन सिस्टम? वी सस्पेक्ट इट टू बी अ डिजीज ऑफ व्हिच ऑर्गन सिस्टम?
Respiratory.
Okay. So just I want to hear this answer only. If the animal is suffering from coughing, we suspect it to be a disease of respiratory system, either upper respiratory tract or lower respiratory tract. This is generally true. 70 to 80% case, the coughing case, the nature of the cough is dependent upon the type of infection produced in the respiratory tract. For example, if the animal is suffering from pharyngitis, laryngitis, bronchitis, pulmonary edema, so many diseases you might have learned in the diseases of respiratory system. So J generally indicates that this animal is suffering from respiratory tract infection, but sometimes it is not true. 80% case, the coughing case, the nature of the cough is dependent upon the type of infection produced in the respiratory tract. For example, if the animal is suffering from pharyngitis, laryngitis, bronchitis, pulmonary edema, so many diseases you might have learned in the diseases of respiratory system. So J generally indicates that this animal is suffering from respiratory tract infection, but sometimes it is not true. When you are treating a case of kennel cough, someone told me kennel cough, it's a very good answer. It's an infectious disease. So you will treat the animal with some of the antibiotic, some of the anti-inflammatory drug, or with the corticosteroid, they should respond. Okay? Agar respiratory tract infection ke karan cough hai, we will treat it with the help of antibiotic, with the help of nebulization, with so many treatment. So animal has to respond with this type of treatment. But if the cough is due to cardiac problem, just take a note of this. If the cough is due to some cardiac problem, they are not going to respond by your treatment. Then suspicion came that this cough is not due to some simple problem. It is a cardiac cough. We call it a cardiac cough, means the cough originated from the cardiac problem. And you might have heard or you might have seen, and even there are so many broadcasting that if any human being is coughing for a very, very long time, persistent coughing, you go for some diagnostic test for some of the bacterial, for example, tuberculosis. Similarly here, you can adopt that concept in cardiology of canine and other animal. If the animal is showing a persistent coughing, you go for diagnosis of some other organ also. Do not suspect it to be only a case of respiratory tract problem. So if the animal, and the nature of the cough is also very, very important, whether the cough is productive in nature. Generally, the cardiac cough are not productive in nature, low in pitch and harsh. So this is very, very important. Pitch of the cough is very, very important, and harshness is very, very important, because sometimes the owner complain, my dog is excessively barking and excessively coughing. Generally, when they are suffering from some inflammatory region, this is called honking cough. So honking cough is an indication of some infection, some inflammation in the respiratory tract regions. But if cough is low in pitch and harsh in nature and in non-productive, it is one of the indications it might be suffering from cardiac problem, or we may call it a cardiac cough. And also the timing of the coughing. So just I correlate with the human being. You might have seen some old person in the village or in our house, 70 to 80 years old man. They used to cough during daytime. This is a question from all of you. They generally used to cough during daytime, during exercise, or during rest. So this is the question from my side.
Rest, sir.
Rest. This is a very, very important diagnostic tool. Generally, when the animal is so coughing, if the animal is suffering from some inflammation in this region, when you palpate this region, the animal will start coughing. So it indicates there is some problem. There is some pharyngitis. There is some pharyngeal inflammation in this region. So, or when you will hold slicks, when you pull the animal with the help of a slick, the animal starts showing coughing. That is called a paroxysmal coughing. Bouts of cough will come. But when the animal is in rest, especially when they're sleeping or when they're lying on the ground for a very, very long time, and immediately start coughing, bouts of cough, paroxysmal coughing is starting without any inciting factor. This is also a very, very important point. बिना किसी कारण के, बिना किसी एक्साइटमेंट के, बिना किसी स्टिमुली के, अगर वो एनिमल रात में उठ के खांसने लगे, just like a human being, you see, compare with an old human being lying on the bed and in the midnight start coughing for a very, very long time. It is one of the indication that a coughing without any inciting factor is an indication of a cardiac cough. So this cough is also very, very important. Now the fourth history is dyspnea. So dyspnea, the definition, no, there is a difficulty in breathing. So if an animal is showing open mouth breathing, so it means there is some airway problem. It may be an upper air problem. It may be a lower airway problem. For example, inspiratory dyspnea or expiratory dyspnea is there is differentiation. If the animal is showing inspiratory dyspnea, so if the animal is showing inspiratory dyspnea, it means there is upper respiratory tract infection. And if it is showing lower expiratory dyspnea, difficulty in passing out of after during expiration, it is called expiratory dyspnea. So dyspnea, you have to differentiate. Now, what are the indications of cardiac disease? Just we recoup up. So there will be exercise intolerance. The animal will be weak and lethargic. The animal will show coughing and retching movement. Sometimes animal may faint and show syncope for a few seconds, for a few minutes. There will be breathing difficulty and swollen abdomen. As I have seen the class of Dr. Sona Watt in which she was talking about the edema. So edema problem is not only a problem of hepatic region, not only a problem of renal, not only a problem of hypoproteinemia, but it is one of the indication of a cardiac problem. So if an animal is showing swollen abdomen, you may suspect it to be a case of cardiac problem. Now, cyanosis is also very, very important. As you have seen a cyanosis in which the bluish discoloration occurs, it may be due to anemia, it may be due to failure of the oxygen combining with the hemoglobin. So there are other problems also, but in case of cardiac also, you may be getting cyanosis, and stunted growth and weight loss or other indication of cardiac problem. So cyanosis of mucous membrane is very, very important, but for that you have to differentiate it from other toxic cows and what we have talked about in the class of anemia, where there are other factors also from where you are getting. But in case of PDA, means left to right, the shunting congenital cardiac defect, certainly the blue baby syndrome, what we discussed previously, it may be an indication of cardiac problem. Now, the one very important point is capillary refill time. So when you will examine the gum region of animals, and if the capillary refill time, when you touch the mucous membrane in that region, and if it fails to come back in the normal color within 2 seconds, this is called sluggish capillary refill time. So capillary refill time greater than 2 seconds is an indication of a cardiac problem. Now, the jugular pulsation, we have already seen so many cases of TRP in our veterinary clinical complex, but we are talking here as a diagnostic point of view. In all types of animal, you see the jugular vein is there, and sometimes you feel the jugular pulsation. So there are two type of pulsation is there, arterial pulsation and venous pulsation is there. So normally this jugular pulsation does not come towards the upper region. So if the jugular pulsation is coming more than 1/3 region of the jugular vein, is an indication of a cardiac problem. So this is again a very, very important diagnostic tools. And sometimes it mimic with the arterial pulsation. So you can differentiate whether it is really a jugular pulsation or arterial pulsation by putting a finger on this region. So if it is a jugular pulsation, it's the fast jugular pulsation, it will subside, but the arterial pulsation will not subside. So from that arterial pulsation, that is normal in nature, you can differentiate what is a jugular pulsation and what is an arterial pulsation. But a jugular pulsation coming on the upper region of the neck is an indication of cardiac problem. And again, the distended jugular vein on the both sides, just like a ropey condition due to congestive heart failure, is again an indication of a cardiac problem. So pulse, usually we sometimes take pulse in the animal and sometimes take it very, very casually, because this pulse determines the stroke volume, that is the ventricular pushing of the blood from the systolic region, from the systole, that is ventricle systole, means it indicates the stroke volume of the heart. So if the pulse is feeble in nature, there are different nature of the pulse. So if the pulse is feeble in nature, it is an indication of a weaker pulling up and pushing of the heart. It means the contraction of the heart has some decrease, or there is failure in the filling of the ventricular region. So pulse determination is also very, very important. A very big pulse is found in case of dilated cardiomyopathy, but this is not always true. So you see, if previously when there are very, very less diagnostic tools, the doctors depends only on the pulse. So by seeing the nature of the pulse, we will able to appreciate the different types of cardiac problem. For that, then after visualizing this, we come to the very important point, that is the physical examination. In the physical examination, we have to do different distant physical examination and the close physical examination. The distant physical examination is you just visualize the animal from the different angle. For that, you see the posture, you see the gait of the animal. So generally, if the animal is suffering from respiratory or cardiac problem, if there is some pain in this region, the animal will unable to sit down. So this will be the first indication that the animal may be suffering from respiratory or cardiac problem. You might have seen the animal coming to our clinic with a symptom of TRP. So that animal failed to sit down. So that is a postural defect. And there will be abducted elbow. You see the elbow comes outside. This is called abducted elbow. So presence of abducted elbow, an animal unable to sit is an indication, is a postural change, is an indication that animals might be suffering from cardiac problem. Then we come to the rate and rhythm of respiration. This respiration is also very important. Sometimes there will be increase in respiration rate. Sometimes there will be decrease in respiration rate. So this respiration will also help in. And then the most important physical examination is the edema, especially edema in the dependent part of the body. The dependent part is the forelimbs, the mouth, the jugular region, so abdomen. So these are the regions where the fluids gets accumulated due to some of the congestive heart failure. So edema in the dependent part of the body is again a physical examination that helps in diagnosing a case. Now, after that, we come to the regional examination. We have to examine the head, in which we have to see the symmetry of the head, the jugular regions where you have to examine. There will be a brisket edema. So you have to examine all this region. You have to examine the mucous membrane again, because you have to differentiate from anemia, because in both conditions there will be respiratory distress. So anemia and septicemia you have to see from the mucous membrane. Then you have to examine the neck for the jugular region. Then come to palpation, percussion, and auscultation. The three basic principles of close physical examination is palpation. So the most important point is PMI. What is PMI? PMI is where you go for auscultation of the heart. Are you hearing everyone?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Sir, yes, sir, yes.
PMI is actually time is very, very less. Only 2 minutes, 20 seconds is left. I don't know how this time goes. So PMI, so I'm not giving you a chance to just interact. I'm just telling it. PMI is point of maximum intensity. Understand? PMI is point of maximum intensity where you will able to appreciate the heartbeat accurately. You know, so you have given the region in case of canine, 4 to 6 intercostal space is the region where if you see the anatomy of the heart, the base of the heart and the apex of the heart, you see this is generally lying in the 4 to 6 intercostal space. So here is the region when you put a stethoscope or when we hear the sound, the maximum sound will be heard in this region. So this is called PMI. So now the next point is the shifting of the PMI from this region to the other region is an indication that something wrong has happened in the animal body. Sometimes you will able to appreciate, even able to see the animal, that some thrilling sound on the body is coming. The animal is vibrating. You will able to appreciate the movement of the chest and even the heart love done sound, the thrilling, the sound that is produced by the heart is vibrating the that muscular region of that, especially the intercostal space, the 4th, 5th, and 6th. So if the PMI is shifting from its normal position to the different position, it is an indication there is certain problem, there is certain murmuring, there is certain increase in the size of the heart. So thrill is also very, very important. This thrills, generally large cardiac murmur due to this large turbulent motion. For example, if you take example of a water pipe, and when you open the tap, the water pipe start vibrating when there is a motion in that pipe. So that is the large cardiac murmur. So if there is if the water is flowing from a smaller region, it will produce a thrill, and that thrill is sometimes visible on the animal's body. So it is an indication that animal is suffering from murmur. So I think Ajit has asked about the murmur and told I will tell you what is murmur and how murmur can be diagnosed. Okay, Ajit?
Yes, sir.
Then
Sir, एक बार और इसको.
अभी it might be suffering some cardiac, some murmur sound is there, or there may be some enlargement in the cardiac chamber has occurred. So again, the decrease in intensity, if you are not able to appreciate that intensity, it also indicate that there is some problem with the cardiac output. So a decrease in intensity of the heart sound is also an indication. So thrills, as we have discussed, if it is as the Ajit asked, so I can explain in Hindi. जस्ट लाइक थ्रिल आप समझ रहे हैं, जैसे कि हम एक पाइप का उदाहरण लेते हैं, उस पाइप से हम नल से पानी अगर डालते हैं, जिस समय पाइप में पानी नहीं होता है वो पतला रहता है, और जैसे ही एक हम नल को खोलते हैं या मोटर को खोलते हैं, एक आवाज आपको सुनाई देता है. ऐसा क्यों होता है कि एक पतले से जगह से, एक ल्यूमन से, एक तेजी से अगर कोई फ्लूइड गुजरेगा तो एक साउंड सुनाई पड़ेगा. दैट साउंड इज कॉल्ड मर्मर साउंड, which we will able to appreciate in different aortic valve, pulmonary region or in the mitral region, जो कि different defect है, जो कि हमको appreciate करना पड़ेगा by auscultation or by ECG or by echocardiography, लेकिन आप उसको सुन सकते हैं कि जैसे ही जिस तरह से एक पाइप से पानी गुजरता है, आप वहां पे आला लगा के रखिए तो आपको एक साउंड सुनाई पड़ेगा और एक कंपन भी पैदा चलेगा। वो कंपन अगर इतना ज्यादा है, अगर इतना टर्बुलेंट होगा वो फ्लूइड का मूवमेंट, कि अगर बहुत ज्यादा वहां पे मरमरिंग है, बहुत ज्यादा तेजी से साउंड रिवर्स डायरेक्शन में गुजर जा रहा है, तो उसके बॉडी पे एक थ्रिल पैदा करेगा, एक कंपन पैदा करेगा, और वो कंपन आपको विजिबल हो सकता है। आप जस्ट उसके ऊपर हाथ रखिए 6 to 4 इंटरकोस्टल स्पेस पे, यू विल बी एबल टू अप्रिशिएट। दिस इज द वन एक्यूट नेचर ऑफ कार्डियक डिजीज। ये इतना आसान नहीं है कि हर बार आपको ऐसा फील हो जाएगा, but in certain condition, I have seen only 2 and 3 cases in which we can see the thrill of its cardiac movements and the murmurs on the upper surface of the body. So everyone able to appreciate this? Understand everyone? The thrills, that is,
Yes, sir.
the vibration जिस तरह से वो वाइब्रेट करके उसके बॉडी पे आपको लगेगा कि इसका इतना तेजी से हार्ट बीट हो रहा है कि इसके दूर तक जा रहा है, उसके एब्डोमेन रीजन तक जा रहा है। So this is called thrill sound. Now again, the ascites, as we know, in congestive heart failures, there is a accumulation of fluid, especially in the loose tissue. So presence of ascites is one of the example of cardiac problem. So again, you have to examine when there is ascites, there will be accumulation of fluid. So there is a venous drain are not occurring in the right auricular region. So the fluid get absorbed, the fluid get remain in the posterior vena cava. So there will be accumulation. So there is a secondary, there may be a chance of hepatomegaly and splenomegaly. Again, there will be accumulation of fluid in the loose skin, that is called anasarca. And the most important is, we were talking about the pulse. So in case of animals, especially in dog and cat, we used to see the pulse at the femoral region. So examination of pulse, ज्यादातर आजकल हम लोग पल्स देखते ही नहीं हैं। हम लोग एनिमल को देखे तुरंत इकोकार्डियोग्राफी चलेंगे, तुरंत अल्ट्रासाउंड करेंगे, तुरंत एक्सरे करेंगे, लेकिन जो बेसिक्स है उसको हम लोग छोड़ते जा रहे हैं। So physical examination is very, very important. History taking will be important. And then in physical examination, you have to examine the pulse, and in the pulse, not only the rate, सिर्फ हम पल्स को काउंट कर लेंगे और उससे हम बता देंगे कि सर इतना पल्स है, चलो हो गया, पल्स से कोई मतलब, पल्स लो है, हाई है, ज्यादा है, ब्रेडिकार्डिया है, टैकीकार्डिया, हम बता देंगे। But the most important is the rhythm of the pulse. This will help in determining a very, very important disease called arrhythmia, for which we have to depend upon the ECG. When we go for ECG in the next class, we will be able to appreciate how very easily you can appreciate this animal is suffering from arrhythmia. Means the heart rate is not normal, increasing and decreasing. So this is called arrhythmia. It may be bradycardia, it may be tachycardia. So arrhythmia is very well appreciated in the ECG, but you can very well appreciate by observing the nature of the pulse. So rate is also important, and the rhythm important, and the beat, the force by which the pulse pushes your finger. So 3 very, very important tools for taking a pulse in the animal. So the pulse is very, very important. So there should be, as a rule, there should be a pulse for each beat. Okay. So if the heart beat, there should be a pulse. So I have given a figure here. You see, I have a recorded sound. I am not able to play here. So there should be a beat for every pulse. एक heart beat के लिए एक pulse होना चाहिए. अगर आपका 72 है तो 72 pulse भी होने चाहिए. 70 heart beat है तो 72. Now just we memorize and just we recoup what is the pulse rate of a dog, of a average size dog. कितना pulse होना चाहिए एक dog का?
60 to 70.
ये क्या बात कर रहे हो? We are human being. You see,
No, sir.
I'm asking in dog.
Dog का 70 to 100.
Anyone?
70 to 100.
अरे it is high, above 100 यार.
सर 140 तक होता है।
Yes, very good.
130, 140, 100 से 140 सर।
अब आ रहा है आंसर। सर 130। कैट का अगर हम उदाहरण लेंगे तो what should be the pulse rate in case of cat? Even 200.
Cat का
Even 200. Okay. So ये अब बहुत डिफिकल्ट है कि आप 200 पल्स कितना जल्दी आप काउंट कर लेंगे. So as a rule, as in a normal animal, there should be a pulse for every beat. This is normal condition. But what is pulse deficit? हम लोग किताब में बहुत दिनों से पढ़ रहे हैं, pulse deficit हो गया, कोई हम pulse deficit पता ही नहीं करते हैं. So if you actually, this is also a heartbeat is also a type of pulse. So difference in the number of pulse from the apical to the peripheral region is called a pulse deficit. इसको मैं इस तरह से समझाता हूं हिंदी में. अगर आप एक अजीत को बोलिए कि एक एनिमल का हार्ट बीट काउंट करेगा, हार्ट बीट लेगा, ठीक है, 1 मिनट में अजीत, एक डॉग आया, उसका हार्ट बीट ले रहा है विद द हेल्प ऑफ स्टेथोस्कोप, ठीक है. शिवानी ले रही है पल्स उसका फेमोरल रीजन से. ओके, दोनों एक साथ घड़ी स्टार्ट होता है, दोनों का टाइमर, और 1 मिनट पे रुक जाता है. अब दोनों से मैं पूछूंगा आफ्टर 1 मिनट कि तुम्हारा क्या हार्ट रेट था. दैट वाज द एपिकल पल्स. And from Shivani, I will ask what were your finding. So Ajit will tell my counting is 142. Okay, and Shivani will tell my count is 140. So what is the pulse deficit? Pulse deficit कितना हुआ? Hello, anyone?
2 sir.
2.
2 sir.
2.
समझ में आ गया?
Sir.
पल्स डेफिसिट समझ में आ गया?
Yes,
समझ में आ
sir.
गया ना? सो डिफरेंस, इसमें जितना हार्ट बीट होना चाहिए था उतना पल्स होना चाहिए था, लेकिन उतना पल्स नहीं आया. कोई यहाँ पे प्रॉब्लम आ रहा होगा, फेलियर हो रहा होगा वेंट्रिकुलर को फिल होने में, या हार्ट जल्दी जल्दी बीट कर रहा होगा. दोनों कंडीशन में आपको पल्स डेफिसिट मिलेगा. यहां से ही आप पकड़ लेंगे एक छोटे से एग्जामिनेशन से कि कोई एरिथमिया का कंडीशन डेवलप कर रहा है इस एनिमल में. सो पल्स डेफिसिट इज वन ऑफ द डायग्नोस्टिक टूल्स फॉर डिटेक्शन ऑफ ए कार्डियक प्रॉब्लम. नाउ यू सी ए मैन, मैंने भी यही कोशिश किया था अपने फर्स्ट स्लाइड पे, मैंने जो अपना फोटो लगाया था वो पल्स डेफिसिट के लिए ही लगाया है, लेकिन ये थोड़ा आसान नहीं होगा. एक तरफ आप देख रहे हैं लेफ्ट रीजन में स्टेथोस्कोपिक एग्जामिनेशन चल रहा है, देख रहे हैं आप, उसका जो डायफ्राम है वो लेफ्ट साइड में रखा हुआ है, साथ ही साथ वो ह्यूमन बीइंग उसके फीमोरल रीजन में पल्स को देख रहा है. सोचिए अगर उसका ब्रेन इतना तेज होगा, जैसे आपने 3 इडियट्स का सिनेमा देखा था कि लेफ्ट और राइट हैंड दोनों से लिख रहा है, ठीक है, क्या ये फिगर सही था? मैंने जान के ये फिगर को लगाया कि एक बार आप हार्टबीट को भी मेजर कर रहे हैं एक ही आदमी और पल्स को भी मेजर कर रहा है तो एरर आने का चांस होगा. सो इसीलिए मेरा व्यू ये है कि एक आदमी हार्ट रेट मेजर करेगा, दूसरा पल्स मेजर करेगा, और दोनों में जो डिफरेंस आएगा दैट इज ए पल्स डेफिसिट. सो ये तो बहुत बड़ा काम कर रहे हैं साहब कि आप पल्स भी देख रहे हैं और हार्ट बीट भी मेजर कर रहे हैं और फिर पल्स डेफिसिट आप पता कर रहे हैं. सो इट इज लिटिल बिट डिफिकल्ट. आई डोंट नो इफ इज सो स्किल्ड. अगर हम इतना बड़ा कार्डियोलॉजिस्ट हो जाते तो मैं भी इसी तरह का कोशिश किया था लेकिन कर नहीं पाया. So again, the next is weak pulse. If the output, that is ventricular output, is weak in nature, so you will be finding a feeble pulse is there. So it is also an indication that some cardiac output, that is called forward failure. I will talk about the two important diseases: forward failure and backward failure. So forward failure, it means if the heart is unable to pump in the aorta in a proper manner, it's called a weak pulse you will find. And then a very, very important disease called a water hammer pulse. Now this is a very strong pulse. Just like a pulse, it's a bit, and when you suppose a person is suffering from high blood pressure and you put your finger on that region, you will be finding a strong bounding pulse is there. एक बहुत ही आपको आराम से मिलने वाला पल्स जो आपके फिंगर को बहुत तेज से बीट कर रहा है वो मिल जाएगा. Strong bounding pulse it is. So water hammer pulse is a very strong bounding pulse. It comes in a very, very important disease like arterial aortic stenosis and PDA, patent ductus arteriosus, जिसमें ये पल्स बहुत तेजी से ऊपर चढ़ता है लेकिन जितना तेजी से चलता है उतना ही जल्दी नीचे गिर जाता है. जिस तरह से आप एक पानी लीजिए और उसमें हथौड़ा से मारिए, सपोज कर रहे हैं इतना सॉफ्ट सा चीज है, हथौड़ा से मार तो दिए, पूरा हथौड़ा नीचे चला गया, जितना कि एक आयरन पे मारते उस तरह से नहीं होता. So therefore this type of pulse is called water hammer pulse. Is very, very diagnostic important tools for determination of PDA or aortic stenosis in case of dog. Now after palpations, Pulse is a type of palpation. We comes to next, percussion. Although this percussion is generally done in a hollow visceral organ, so it has a small diagnostic point. If there is some inflammation, or there's some neoplasia, or the tumor is accumulating in this cardiac region and it is pressing the heart region, you will find the dull sound. Just like a hollow organ gives a better sound, better resonance, and a solid organ gives a dull sound. So when you do a percussion in this region, especially in the cardiac and the chest region, you will be finding a dull sound. Now, the most important figure for today's class is the auscultation. Now, auscultation can be done with the help of a instrument called a stethoscope. And stethoscope. And I know most of you are knowing the function of each and every part of a stethoscope. Sometime, if an examiner may ask you what is the function of a earpiece, and what is the function of a tube, and what is the structure diaphragm and well is there, वहाँ पूछा जा सकता है, और क्या क्या आर्टिफैक्ट आते हैं. आपने माइक्रोस्कोप देखा है, और माइक्रोस्कोप में जब हम देखने जाते हैं बेबेशिया थिलेरिया, तो सबको बेबेशिया थिलेरिया नहीं दिखाई पड़ता है. कभी कभी कोई छोटा सा स्टेन को भी हम बोल देंगे सर ये एनाप्लाज्मोसिस है. तो बहुत तरह के आर्टिफैक्ट जैसे हर चीज में मिलता है, उसी तरह से जब हम आला लगाना छोड़ देंगे, अब तो आला भी नहीं लगाते हैं, शौक से भी नहीं लगाते हैं. अगर हम आला रखे रहते हैं और बिना मतलब का भी लगाते रहेंगे तो कुछ ना कुछ सीख जाएंगे. तो सबसे पहले हम आर्टिफैक्ट को डिफरेंशिएट करने के लिए बात कर रहे हैं. अगर वी आर गोइंग फॉर एस्कल्टेशन, हमको पहले से पता होना चाहिए कि आर्टिफैक्ट्स क्या क्या होंगे. अभी हम एस्कल्टेशन शुरू करने वाले हैं, लेकिन उसके पहले डिस्कस कर लें कि कौन कौन से अदर साउंड हमको सुनाई पड़ेगा. आर्टिफैक्ट के लिए दूसरे एडवेंटिशियस साउंड, दैट इज कॉल्ड एंड साउंड अदर देन द हार्ट रीजन. अब डॉक्टर अजीत एस्कल्टेट करने गया और बगल में उसका साथी मोबाइल से बात कर रहा है, उसका गाना आ गया, उसका ट्यून आ गया, उसका साउंड उसमें पता चल जाएगा. एनिमल मूव कर रहा है, मसल वाइब्रेट कर रहा है, हेयर का मूवमेंट, आप उसके डायफ्राम को उसके बॉडी पे घुमा रहे हैं हेयर पे, और घरघराहट और करकराहट की आवाज आपको सुनाई पड़ रही है. दैट इज नॉट द ट्रू साउंड ऑफ द हार्ट. दैट इज कॉल्ड एन एडवेंटिशियस साउंड और सुपरफ्लुअस साउंड दैट विल create a problem in diagnosing the different sounds that is electric, that is love and dove sound, that is normal sound, as well as the other sound that is produced during the this cardiac auscultation. So these are the certain factors that has to be kept in mind, that the other, for example, the vibration by the muscular movement, the animal movement, other sound coming from that region, or from when you are moving the stethoscope on the skin region, and the vibration may come out from the by touching the skin hairs. So vibration from the hairs, that gives the sound. So this is the most important tools. Actually, this is the basic first tool for determination of cardiac problems. After that, ECG, then echocardiography. So auscultation is very, very important tool for determination of different cardiac problem. And for that, the position and the posture of the animal is very, very important. So sometimes we go for auscultation when the animal is lying down in the lateral recumbency. That doesn't give a true picture of a cardiac problem. For that, the animal should be in a standing position, because in a standing position, the size and the shape of the heart in a proper direction. The apex of the heart in this region and the base of the heart in this region, it will remain in this region. You see, here there is a base of the heart, and this is the apex of the heart. So if the animal is lying down, it will be dependent upon some, due to gravity, it pulled to some other region. So this auscultation is generally done on the left and right side of the heart, and the left side, as we know, is a very, very important point, as we have discussed in the second or third slide, PAM. Now P stand, I am asking again question, P stand for what region? Pulmonary area, pulmonary valve region. So this is your pulmonary valve region. You just locate just at just near the shoulder. You see, actually this will be behind that leg region. हम यहाँ पे नहीं देखेंगे, ये second and third intercostal space के पास होता है on the left side. Just remember the position. Okay, very good. Just remember the position, second and third intercostal space. Now after P, we have studied about the A. What is A? What is
Aortic.
Aorta.
Aortic.
Aortic
Aortic.
valve.
Aortic valve.
Aorta.
Okay, line of demarcation from left ventricle to the aortic region. So it is present at the junction of costochondral junction, just near the costochondral junction. Now, I have discussed costochondral junction in the class where I was discussing about the calcium, and I have given a very, very important figure of a costochondral region. It's a region where the ribs get joined with the sternum and its bone. So this is the costochondral region. और मैंने कैल्शियम डिफिशियंसी में बताया था कि यहाँ पे बीड बन जाता है ना? रैचेटिक रोजरी के बारे में भूल गए क्या? रैचेटिक रोजरी के बारे में.
माला की तरह.
Yes. So this aortic valve is present at the fourth ICS. देखो यहाँ पे लिखा हुआ है at the fourth intercostal region. So this is at the level of the costochondral junction. So this is the point where you can go for auscultating the aortic valve region. Now the next is in the fifth intercostal space. This is the fifth intercostal space, and this is the mitral valve region. So if there will be a stenosis, there will be problem in the bicuspid valve, you will be able to appreciate from this one. So this is in the fifth intercostal space on the left side of the heart. Now coming to the similarly to the right side of the heart, as we have seen that the right side of the heart, from the right auricle to right ventricle, there is an intercostal, there is a valve, the semilunar valve, tricuspid valve is there. So this is the region of tricuspid valve on the right side. All this question is very, very important because it will be asked, and for the first time I am giving you a clue, and this is also a part of your practical in unit 2 also. So just remember the point. So again, it is just below the costochondral junction at the fourth intercostal space on the right side. So again, is there any need of repeating this? This is a very, very important tool for auscultation. So coming back to the next slide. This is, I have given arrow diagram, pulmonary area, next, aortic area, next, mitral area, and next, this is tricuspid area. So this complete the region of auscultation for different diseases in case of canine. So I have given one link here. So when you go from this, you just connect with this and you will be able to appreciate the different heart sound by downloading this. Actually, this is 10 to 15 minutes video is there. So you can hear the different lub-dub sound from this region, and then splitting of the second heart sound you will hear from this link. So coming to the next slide, again, I am for determination of different type of stenosis and for determining the you see if there will be problem in this valve, so you will be pulmonary stenosis problem, you will determine from this region, then subaortic stenosis and patent ductus arteriosus, you can very well appreciate by auscultating in this region. But this is very, very easy to show you on the diagram, and it is more difficult because on one day auscultation, you will not be able to appreciate until and unless you go for auscultation of each and every animal. Then only you will be able to appreciate in a longer time. It will take, in human being, they used to hear that our sound for a very, very long time. ऐसा नहीं है, इसलिए हमें ऐसा लगता है कि बहुत लोग auscultation का ABCD नहीं जानते, क्योंकि वो पहले तो स्टेथोस्कोप का कान में वो बाहर की ओर होगा कि अंदर की होगा वैसे ही नहीं लगाते. So by doing auscultating for a very, ऐसा नहीं है कि आज मैंने बता दिया और कल मैं भी अगर auscultate नहीं करूंगा ज्यादा एनिमल को तो हम differentiate नहीं कर पाएंगे. So especially those animals that are suffering from respiratory, or when you suspect it to be a cardiac problem, you must go for auscultation for a certain period of time. Without any reason, you go for auscultation, then you will be able to appreciate, you will differentiate by previous case and the next case and the present case by visualizing all this. When you will, it will go to your brain, and then you will see, oh, there is certain problem in this region. This time the sound is a little bit different. There will be some hissing sound. There will be some murmuring sound. You will be here. You will be able to appreciate. So with the help of auscultation for a very, very long time, you will be in a longer period of time, you will be able to appreciate the different problems. So this is the area of auscultation I have given for different animals, especially the equines. This again is very important, especially the cardiac problem is important in case of an equine with respect to ruminants, because we used to take lots of physical work from the equines, and as the animal depends on the herd for better performance and functioning, there is a more problem of cardiac in case of equines in comparison to ruminants. So coming to the last part of this cardiac, there is another very important diagnostic tools apart from auscultation, and that is X-ray taking. So this and from X-ray, just you are visualizing a X-ray, and just I am on X-ray. This is the left X-ray view, and on X-ray I am just putting. You see this arrow here. So on, can you tell me? I'm just putting my cursor here. So this is which part of the heart? Can anyone tell me? I'm rotating the cursor.
Base, sir.
This is base
of the heart.
Oh, this whole is the base of the heart. Actually, सबसे पहले चलो ठीक है, यही है, हम इसे समझते हैं, ये base of the heart है. Okay? फिर से टाइम जा रहा है, हम जल्दी से रिकूप करते हैं. We have enough time. So very good. This is base of the heart. So सबसे पहले समझ जाइए, हार्ट का बेस है, ऊपर वाला जो चौला वाला पोर्शन है, हार्ट का बेस है. ये क्या है जो काला सा दिख रहा है यहाँ पे? ये कौन सा पार्ट है जिसपे मैं कर्सर चला रहा हूँ? ट्रैकिया. पहले हम बेसिक सीख लेते हैं. आप वीडियो ऑन कर लीजिए आप सबको, ताकि आप लोगों को मैं देख सकूं कौन बोल रहा है. दिस इज ट्रैकिया. ओके, देयर इज नो प्रॉब्लम विद द वीडियो. अजीत, ये क्या कर लिया तुम?
यस सर.
ठीक है, दिख रहा है ना? ओके, सो दिस इज ट्रैकिया. ये हार्ट है, इसको हम अभी 4 चैम्बर में आर्बिट्ररी बांटते हैं. यहां से यहां ले गए. ये ऊपर वाला बेस ऑफ द हार्ट के पास ऑरिकल्स होता है. ठीक है, ओके एवरीवन, ओके क्लियर? बेस ऑफ द हार्ट के पास ऑरिकल्स होते हैं, एंड दिस पोर्शन इज राइट ऑरिकल. ओके, दिस पोर्शन इज राइट ऑरिकल. तो यहाँ पे पल्मोनरी वेन आके डंप करेंगे. ओके, यहाँ पे राइट ऑरिकल से आएगा इम्प्योर ब्लड. सो नाउ वी कम टू द एपेक्स. नाउ दिस एपेक्स इज ऑन द स्टर्नम रीजन. ठीक है, और इस स्टर्नम रीजन पे ये राइट ऑरिकल्स के बाद ये राइट वेंट्रिकल्स का रीजन है. एवरीवन क्लियर? दिस इज राइट वेंट्रिकल रीजन. नाउ अगेन कमिंग टू द बेस ऑफ द हार्ट, दिस इज लेफ्ट ऑरिकल्स. दिस इज लेफ्ट ऑरिकल. देखिए ये लेफ्ट ऑरिकल का एक्सटेंशन देख रहे हैं, ये कोई नॉर्मल बात नहीं है. इस ये जो मैंने फिगर लिया है यहाँ पे, आप देख रहे हैं यहाँ पे एक्सटेंशन हो रहा है, कुछ है ना, बढ़ा हुआ दिख रहा है आपको. ये देख रहे हैं हार्ट के चैम्बर का साइज. इसी को हम कहते हैं कि कार्डियोमेगाली का डिटर्मिनेशन. आप एक बार ऐसे देख के भी कर सकते हैं. अगर आप बार बार एक्सरे, जिस तरह से आप बार बार स्कल्टेशन करने से आपको पता चल जाएगा कि कार्डियक प्रॉब्लम है. अगर हम बार बार एक्सरे देखेंगे तब हम कार्डियक रीजन को एप्रिशिएट कर पाएंगे. तो ये राइट लेफ्ट ऑरिकल्स है. नाउ लेफ्ट ऑरिकल का जो सबसे इंपॉर्टेंट हार्ट का जो पार्ट होगा वो लेफ्ट वेंट्रिकल होगा. अच्छा, आप लोग में से कितने लोग ने एक्सरे कभी कराया है? किसी ने एक्सरे कराया है? ओके, चेस्ट एक्सरे कराया है किसी ने? चेस्ट एक्सरे के समय टेक्नीशियन आपको क्या बोलता है? सांस को रोकें, सांस को खींचें या सांस को छोड़ें? ये 3 बात में से एक बात बताइए हमें. What they do, what they ask to us, you take deep breathing, you duck, exhale, or just hold the breath. तीनों में से कौन सा बात बोलता है?
रोकने के लिए सर.
छोड़ने के लिए.
सांस छोड़ने के लिए? ये तो बड़ा गड़बड़ हो जाएगा.
सर होल्ड द ब्रेथ, रोकने के लिए.
या बोलता है कि एक बार आप सांस खींच करके 1-2 सेकंड के लिए रोके रखिए और उसी समय वो क्लिक दबा देता है. इसका क्या रीजनिंग हो सकता है? एनीवन?
सर वो डिफरेंशिएट कर देता है. गैस अगर जाता है तो
हाँ, ठीक है.
जब पंप करता रहता है तो उस वक्त उसका मेजर लेना प्रॉब्लम होता है, इसीलिए.
सर मूवमेंट को कम
पोजीशन पे होता है उसमें.
नहीं, क्या बोल रहे हो आनंद, क्या बोल रहे हो? ओके,
सर मूवमेंट कम होगा जिससे कि पिक्चर क्लियर आएगा.
पिक्चर क्लियर आएगा. अभी मैंने 2 बात किया था आपको. हाँ बताइए. बहुत अच्छा
सर, एयर फिल्ड रहेगा कंप्लीटली.
हाँ हाँ, एयर फिल्ड रहेगा. हाँ बहुत अच्छा.
सर वो डायफ्राम, सर डायफ्राम जो है ना वो
सर डायफ्राम के लोकेशंस की वजह से होता है सर।
बहुत
सर
अच्छा।
सर एक्चुअली होता है क्या है सर कि सर एक बार हम एयर फिल कर लेंगे सर, एक्सपेंशन पता चल जाएगा कि कितना एक्सपेंड कर रहा
सर डायफ्राम रिलैक्स्ड रहता है उस टाइम में, तो हार्ट कंप्लीट मतलब जो भी है लंग्स का जो है, स्पेशली जो सर एक्सरे हम लोग लेते हैं थोरैसिक पार्ट का, तो लंग्स के एक्सटेंशन को ही देखना होता है। तो डायफ्राम रिलैक्स्ड रहेगा तो लंग्स कंप्लीटली एक्सपेंडेड सेक्शन में रहेगा।
गुड, ठीक है। लगभग हम उस जगह पे पहुंच गए हैं। क्यों इंस्पिरेशन करने बोलता है और कुछ देर होल्ड करने बोलता है? ऑल्दो हम डॉग को ये कह नहीं सकते हैं कि आप तुम जरा सांस लो और हमें एक्सरे करना है, ऐसा कहते हैं आनंद? नहीं कहते ना? शिवानी बोलते हैं क्या?
नो सर।
नो सर।
कर सकते हैं कि नहीं? मेरा क्वेश्चन है कि
कर सकते हैं
कर सकते हैं
सर।
अभी आते हैं
यस
डिस्कशन
सर,
पे कैसे
एक बार
कर
उसको
सकते हैं।
मारेंगे कहीं पे, किसी बॉडी पार्ट पे उसको टच करेंगे,
अरे तुम तो
आराम से
जेल
जल्दी
चले
से।
तुम जेल चले जाओगे मार दोगे तो। ये नहीं, ये तो
नहीं।
इस वीडियो को मैं इस बात को काटना पड़ेगा। मार नहीं सकते, अभी हम आते हैं उस पे, ठीक है ना? मारना नहीं है, बहुत आराम से डेलिकेटली उसको कुछ करेंगे ना तो वो होल्ड करेगा थोड़ी देर। मैंने आपको करके दिखाया था, मैंने उसको एक बार फूका था उसके मुंह के पास। जब जिस समय ईसीजी भी करते रहते हैं उस समय भी इस मूवमेंट से बहुत प्रॉब्लम आता है, ठीक है ना? अगर एनिमल मूव करेगा, एनिमल गास्प करेगा, एनिमल खांसेगा तो ईसीजी करने में बहुत प्रॉब्लम आता है। उस समय कुछ मत करिए, आप अपने मुंह से उसके नाक के पास फूंक दीजिए, पहला बात, ठीक है? या फिर थोड़ी देर के लिए नॉस्ट्रिल्स पे हाथ रख दीजिए, वो होल्ड कर लेगा थोड़ी देर के लिए, ठीक है? गाय और भैंस और घोड़े में क्या करेंगे? पॉलिथीन लाएंगे, 1 सेकंड के लिए पॉलिथीन यहाँ लगा देंगे। आगे मेथड, तुम मारोगे उसको, मारने से वो नहीं रुकने वाला। ओके, चलो, बहुत अच्छा आंसर बताया कि हम उसको मार देंगे तो उसका सांस रोक लेगा। जरूर कोई मारा है, इसको अभी हमें मारना है बदला लेने के लिए। ऐसा नहीं है, मार नहीं सकते हैं, उसको हम कह भी नहीं सकते हैं। जस्ट वी डू सम टेक्निक बाय होल्डिंग a nostril with the palm or by blowing air on its nostril region, or in case of large animal by putting a polythene bag for certain period of time, 1 and 2 or 5 seconds on this region. So this will help in animal to hold its breath for certain period of time. तो इससे होगा क्या? अगर हम ब्रेथ को होल्ड कर लेंगे और इंस्पिरेट कर लेंगे तो ये बहुत अच्छा बात है। डायफ्राम का बात है और नीचे स्टर्नम वाला बात है। चेस्ट कैविटी स्पैन हो जाएगा। जब चेस्ट कैविटी स्पैन होगा तो उसमें एयर ज्यादा इन्फिल्ट्रेट रहेंगे, तो हमें यूजुअली से डिफरेंशिएट करने में बहुत मदद मिलेगा, ठीक है? अगर एक कंप्रेस चेस्ट है तो वहां पे पल्मोनरी एडिमा है कि कार्डियक इनलार्जमेंट है, हम कुछ डिफरेंशिएट नहीं करेंगे, सब व्हाइट व्हाइट नजर आएगा। लेकिन हम जब एयर एक बार इनगल्फ कर लिए तो हम एक्सरे लेंगे तो हमें हार्ट के अलावा चारों तरफ ब्लैक दिखना चाहिए नॉर्मली। इफ इट इज अ नॉर्मल हार्ट, इफ इट इज अ नॉर्मल लंग, देन इट शुड अपीयर ब्लैकिश इन कलर। सो इसको डिफरेंशिएट करने के लिए हम ड्यूरिंग इंस्पिरेशन में लेते हैं। लेकिन फिर बात करिए उस डॉग का या उस ह्यूमन बीइंग का जो पिकविकियन सिंड्रोम से सफर कर रहा है। इसलिए मैंने शुरू के क्लास में ही पिकविकियन सिंड्रोम के बारे में बात किया, जिसको बेचारा को तो सांस लेने में ही दिक्कत हो रहा है। ओबेसिटी, सो यू सी ओबेसिटी इज क्रिएट ए प्रॉब्लम इवन फॉर डूइंग एक्सरे। जो ओबेज एनिमल है उसका हम ठीक से एक्सरे भी नहीं ले सकते। सो पिकविकियन सिंड्रोम फिर यहाँ पे बाधा डालेगा। सो टू इंक्रीज द कैपेसिटी ऑफ द लंग, to compress the diaphragm, to lift the heart from this region, you see the sternum region, to make it a differential diagnosis is very, very important. But my question, I am coming to this, vertebral cardiac score system is there, VHS is there. With the help of that, we can able to determine with the help of X-ray whether the animal is suffering from cardiomegaly or not. हम एक्सरे लेंगे, लेकिन हम इसको कंपेयर करेंगे नंबर ऑफ रिब्स के काउंट करने से। नंबर ऑफ रिब्स कैसे काउंट करेंगे? तो एक बार बेस ऑफ द हार्ट, नाउ द बेस ऑफ द हार्ट, द मैक्सिमम लेंथ दैट इज कॉल्ड एल। आप देख रहे हैं यहाँ पे 151.72 मिलीमीटर आया है। अब बेस ऑफ द हार्ट कहां से लेंगे? तो ये ट्रैकिया का बाइफर्केशन रीजन है, दैट इज कॉल्ड कैर्निया, दैट इज कॉल्ड कैर्निया, बाइफर्केशन रीजन ऑफ द ट्रैकिया, वहां पे रखेंगे हम। ये तो आपके पास बहुत एडवांस इंस्ट्रूमेंट है तब ना, हम एक एक्सरे से भी कर सकते हैं विद द हेल्प ऑफ ए स्लाइड कैलिपर। यू होल्ड दिस रीजन बाय कार्निया रीजन, यहाँ से सबसे लॉन्गेस्ट एक्सिस को लेंगे ऑन द लेफ्ट वेंट्रिकल, ठीक है? लेफ्ट वेंट्रिकल के एपेक्स पे जाएंगे और देखिए यहाँ से यहाँ जाने से 151.72 मिलीमीटर आ गया, ठीक है? अब इसको हम फोर्थ इंटरकोस्टल स्पेस, फर्स्ट सेकंड थर्ड फोर्थ, देख रहे हैं? फर्स्ट सेकंड थर्ड फोर्थ, 4 इंटरकोस्टल स्पेस को एक्सरे में देखेंगे, 1 2 3 4, और चौथे के यहां से इसको हम रखेंगे, इस जो मेजरमेंट आया 151.72, इसको यहां से रख के यहां तक दौड़ा देंगे, ठीक है। अब उसमें के बीच में कितना रिब्स आया उसको काउंट कर लेंगे। देखिए एरर होने का चांस है, एक में 2 रिब दे रहा है, 2 रिब नहीं है, वो रिब ऐसे है, नीचे वाला रिब भी आया है, आप देख रहे होंगे 2 रिब्स देख रहा है एक साथ में, यहाँ पे देखिए इसको हम 1 काउंट करेंगे। ओके एवरीवन क्लियर? इसको हम 2 नहीं काउंट कर लेंगे, तब तो हर केस में हम कार्डियोमेगाली बता देंगे। 1 2 3 4 5 6, और 6 के बाद आगे 6.5, तो इसका 6.5 रिब इतने दूरी में आ गया। फिर हम हार्ट के शॉर्ट एक्सिस को मेजर करेंगे। शॉर्ट एक्सिस कहां से मेजर करेंगे? तो ऑरिकल के बेस पे देखेंगे सबसे ज्यादा डिस्टेंस कहां पे आ रहा है, उस एक्सिस को मेजर कर लेंगे विद द हेल्प ऑफ स्लाइड कैलिपर्स, या आपके पास जो इंस्ट्रूमेंट है उसमें डायरेक्ट कर्सर को यहां से यहां ले जा करके, ये 95.54 मिलीमीटर है। फिर उसको हम 4th इंटरकोस्टल स्पेस की इस जगह से रखेंगे और फिर इसको दौड़ा देंगे उस पे, और फिर काउंट करेंगे इसमें 1 2 3 4 या 4.5 या 5 आया है, ठीक है। और 5 आया और इसके पहले 6 आया था या 6.5 आया था, दोनों को जोड़ देंगे